Hey everybody, this is Cake.avi with the first full-length episode of Taking the Cake in DayZ. This is the same server as the prologue, so as you can see, I'm pretty new to it. I'm really just looking for a tent to get a camp going. I was gonna leave this poor guy alone because he doesn't seem to have very much, but he's looting a tent, so... Okay, great, now we have a tent. After a few more minutes of looting, I'm starting to feel pretty good. I got a slightly bigger backpack, some extra survival supplies. I think I'm gonna head outside town... Oh, DayZ. After I respawned, I was pretty close to the main bridge, so I decided to check out the West Island for the first time. After some uneventful but profitable running and looting, I managed to find a dead dude and a Humvee, but I was not alone. I saw the guy shooting from beside one of the big circular drums, so I flank around behind the shipping containers and then across the street to the red boxes on the right. So that chopper ends up showing up at a pretty good time, because as you can see, the guy was about to shoot me. I end up just hiding for a little bit, and the chopper spots the guy on top of the drum, and a bit of a gunfight ensues. The bandit up top doesn't last very long against the chopper, so once he's dead, I decide to just kind of keep an eye on things for a little bit, when all of a sudden something a bit unexpected happens. So, now that that chopper crashed and killed everybody in it, I've got the three guys that were in the chopper, the dude on top of the drum, as well as the dead guy by the Humvee, and the Humvee itself, and nobody around to compete for any of that loot. Unfortunately, two of the guys in the chopper were basically fresh spawns, but the third has an FN FAL, which is pretty nice. The dude on top of the tank had an M4A3 CCO, and I think the guy by the Humvee had an MP5. The Humvee itself also had a few spare guns in it. All in all, not bad for somebody who was very recently a fresh spawn, so I decided to load up the Humvee and get the hell out of Dodge. At this point, I have played way too much DayZ in one day, so I log with the car stashed on the northwestern peninsula. By the time I get back, the car is gone, but I ended up finding some really ridiculously stocked tents pretty quickly. In retrospect, these are almost for sure hacked or duped tents, but at the time I just put it down to a fun custom map, especially considering what had happened with the chopper and the Humvee. After grabbing an M14, a ghillie, and a bit more FN FAL ammo, I move along the shore a bit more and pretty much immediately find a car. Since I've already got all the weaponry I could ask for, I decide to just get out of there. I just quickly head back to run over those tents before leaving. The car is not in the best of shape though, so I decide to take it to a nearby town to try to fix it up. However, I run into another chopper which scares me off and I decide to go look elsewhere. While I'm driving around, I'm kind of constantly checking the forest for SUVs full of guns like that, but more often than not, you just find a cow. Of course, that's only a good idea as long as you don't crash into a lamppost, which I did, which caused a very long corpse run, but thankfully nobody got to my body before I did, so all I lost was the ghillie. Once I get all the car parts I need, I end up heading to the very southern tip of the West Island and setting up a bit of a camp there. Having a camp going allows me to be way more active with PvP since I have a place to stash all my gear between fights, so I don't have to risk everything every time. Now that I have a bit of a foothold on the server, next week's episode is going to focus almost entirely on PvP. Here's a quick preview. Let's see if it stops. No, not stopping. Let's follow it. Get in the truck.
Yeah, I see him going to the left there. Oh, I think he stopped.